Hold on a second. All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm here with Sister Grace Dominic. Sister Grace Dominic, would you like to say hello and let us know about your life?
Hello, everyone. It's good to be with you all. Sure, yeah. You want me to just start, Don?
Yeah. So just so you all know, we've just had a little complication by internet. Sorry. Hopefully everybody can get on here. But Sister Grace Dominic is a sister of life, and I thought I would just ask her, a little bit about herself and about her order, so you can tell us about her religious community.
I'd love to. Yeah. So, I'm a religious sister of life. I'll tell you a little bit about our community. So I entered about 9 years ago, and we were founded. We're like babies in the church. We're only 25 years old. We were founded in 1991 by Cardinal O'Connor in New York, and we are privileged to take a fourth vow to protect and enhance the sacredness of human life. So along with the vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience in imitation of Jesus, we are privileged to take this fourth vow. And we're contemplative active, so our work flows out of our prayer. So we are privileged to work with women who are pregnant and in crisis, those who are vulnerable to threats of abortion. We also work with those who have suffered from abortion in the past, and they come to us 5, 10, 20, 40, 60 years after an abortion experience, looking for God's mercy and healing, to be reconciled with God, with their little ones. We also have retreat mission, building the culture of life through the work of retreats, also evangelization. We are privileged to be invited to speak at universities and share a little bit about the charism of life. So that's just a snippet. I'm happy to share with you a little bit more about the foundation, but I'll let you call the shots, Don.
Yeah, so I actually have a personal sister friend over there, Sister Fiat Marie.
Oh, yeah, from the Diocese of Lansing.
Yeah, she's from my home parish, so I'll holler out to her. Yeah, you have such a beautiful charism of serving so many people in this culture of building a culture of life. I love it. Some of the questions that I actually had received from women ahead of time, first off, how often do you get to see your family? That was a big question.
Oh, yeah. So we see our families quite often. So probably once every couple of months, our families will come for visiting days and things like that. And then for our home visit, so we have about 2 weeks where we'll go to visit our families every year. So about 2 weeks every year for an extended period, but visiting days throughout the year. Yeah.
Okay. And so if a woman came to you guys and she got a degree in music and she was hoping to use her gift of music, how much would she be able to use per se, like her gift of music or other talents that she brings to your community? How does that look?
Yeah. What a beautiful question. I love to say that nothing is ever wasted with the Lord, so it's really about what she is offering to Jesus. Like, it's never wasted, right? So it's not about will it be of good use to this community, but what will Jesus do with my love? What will Jesus do with my talents? What will Jesus do with my gift of juggling fire? Whatever it is, it's never wasted. So it always, whether she sees it in the beginning or not, it's never wasted. It's always put to use. The Lord is the one who gives us talents and gifts, and so He doesn't give them to us so they can sit fallow. He gives them to us for our joy, but also for the salvation of the world. So we get to see just our sisters' talents come through all the time, whether through evangelization, whether in a coffee house that we do, or whether just being a woman who is in a really hard situation. Maybe she played soccer in high school, and sister had something to talk to her about, or so things like that. But I would say nothing is ever wasted with Jesus.
Awesome. I agree. And it's beautiful that you just say yes to God's love and his invitation to wherever he wants you. And yeah, it's a mystery after that, wherever he leads. So some of your apostolates you were saying are, I know you care for the mothers with their babies or while they're pregnant, those kind of things, right? And then I always see you with the March for Life. Yeah, are there other things that you do? You're active contemplative, right?
We're contemplative active. So we say the contemplative part first because all of our work flows out of our life of prayer. So yes, working with women who are pregnant and in crisis, most of the women who come to us are vulnerable to the threats of abortion, whether they're being pressured by the boyfriend, father of the baby, their parents. So we journey with them. We're not counselors, we're not licensed counselors. Most of us aren't, at least. And so we're their sisters, we're their mothers. We journey with them, we walk with them. And happen when a woman is able to see her own goodness, to see her own value. We say that we delight in these women. We love them so that they can see their own capacity to love. And of course, there are practical needs that they have. So we have a home on the west side of Manhattan where women can actually come and live if they don't have a place to go. We serve over 1,000 women a year, not just in New York, but throughout the world, primarily, I would say, on the East Coast, but it isn't unheard of to be serving a woman somewhere far away. And things come through our doors, whether she needs maternity pants or baby clothes or a car seat or a crib, whether she needs help going back to school. It all comes through the door. The Lord loves to throw out a red carpet when she sees yes, she sees miracles that begin to happen. But again, I also mentioned we are privileged to have a mission of mercy where we work with those who have suffered from abortion in the past. And it is really a privileged mission. And, just not too long ago, a woman who was 86 years old, Dawn, came to us, and it was the first time that she had spoken to anyone about her abortion experience, looking for God's mercy and healing. And she left, unburdened. She had gone to confession at 86 years old, so it is just beautiful to see what the Lord does through this charism of life. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. You probably see a lot of beautiful things. That is a beautiful witness. So how many, you must have a lot of sisters in formation. How many of you are there? And do you have a lot of novices, new ones coming through right now?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we just broke 100 this year. So we're at 106. So we had 15 postulants enter this past September. So that's really beautiful. We have 18 novices. So that's including first year and second year novices. So yeah, they're thriving and trying to love Jesus more and more each day.
Wow, that's beautiful.
They're in the apostolate and the missions, yeah.
Awesome. I don't know if you mind sharing a little bit of your story, or sometimes helping women see your coming to a vocation to this particular order. How did God get you there? How did you know this was the right order for you? So many women don't know where to start. So how does that all work for you?
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to share a little bit of my journey. I think the most important thing to say here is that the call to religious life is a call. It's an invitation. It's a personal invitation from Jesus himself. So it isn't something that you wake up one morning and decide, you know what, I've had it, I'm gonna go enter the convent. It doesn't work that way. So for me, I grew up in a beautiful Catholic family, but I fell away in college, and I had a powerful experience just after graduation. I was working as a journalist, and my first day of work actually was on 9/11. and that was when the Twin Towers came down. So it was a powerful day for me, and a day where I really questioned, my life. All these existential questions began to arise in my heart. What am I doing with my life? And it was the witness of the firefighters going in the burning buildings that really resonated in my heart. They were heroic and were not afraid of losing their lives for the sake of other people, and they did give their lives. And something about that really resonated in my heart. And I didn't think I was called to be a firefighter. So but the following year, my newspaper sent me to cover World Youth Day in Toronto, and that was John Paul II's last World Youth Day. And it was the witness of his life that was powerful. And at that World Youth Day, it was the first time that I saw young priests, young religious, and they were vibrant and joyful. And I thought, how could this be? But I remembered the experience of seeing the firefighters, and that it was the same experience. It was the same heroic love. And I knew at that moment that that's what the Lord was calling me to. It took me some time because I had my own plans, marriage and family life, and all that was true and beautiful and good. And with the Lord, as I grew deeper in my faith, as I spent time with him in silence, in Eucharistic adoration, the invitation grew stronger, to give my heart to him in this exclusive love. And I had a really powerful I had a powerful prayer. I said, Lord, if this is your will, make me run to you, make me desire this, because it isn't the desire of my heart right now. And slowly he began to answer that prayer. He began to show me that as beautiful as human love is, it wasn't enough for my heart. He actually allowed me to taste the dissatisfaction in that for me. That he was showing me that my heart was created for him alone, and that I wouldn't be satisfied for love. He would bless it. He told me, I will bless you, whatever you choose, but just so you know, I created your heart for this. And so I always tell young women, sit before the Lord, ask the Lord heart to love. What are the deepest desires of my heart? Because so many times we don't even know what we desire. We don't even know the deepest desires of our heart. You asked, I think the second part of your question was, how did you know it was the Sisters of Life? And for me, honestly, Dawn, I like to say, here I am now, I serve as vocation director, but I like to say, I didn't really discern. I did, but the Lord made it very clear to me.
Because it was broken up. I couldn't hear you saying.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So I don't know how much you missed, but maybe God didn't want you to hear it. But yeah. So discerning with my community. So honestly, I just went on this come and see retreat with the Sisters of Life because I wanted to scratch it off the list of things to do. I wanted to say to the Lord, all right, Lord, I know that you're calling me, and I will discern, just to say that I did. And I had a roommate in graduate school who was from New York. She always talked about the Sisters of Life. They seemed, fine enough. So I went on this retreat really just to say, all right, Lord, just so you know, I came and I'll prove to you that I'm not nun material, or whatever that means, And it was at that retreat where the Lord really revealed to me that this was who I like to say that when you look for a charism, when you're looking for the community, there should be like a release of your spirit. Fire that burns with these sisters, that burn in my heart, that we share something. And so it was so powerful to me there that this heart was created to love in this charism. And then he began to show me things of my past where the charism was always so vibrant in my heart. So I didn't need to visit other communities, because the Lord knew how stubborn I am, and He made it very easy for me. So it isn't the case for everyone, but it was for me. So thanks be to God, here I am.
There you are. Okay, so I don't know if this is as bad on your side as it is for my side, but you can be kind of broke up a little bit. So I don't know if you can move your computer over a little bit and maybe you get a better with the internet. I'm not sure if that'll help, but try just a little bit, move it over. See.
Okay.
So another question I had was, what is maybe a little bit of your daily life, as much as you can describe? I know it varies, but maybe even also your type of prayer. I think that's pretty important. What does your prayer look like? Is there praise and worship? Is there a lot of silence?
Yeah, beautiful question. So I like to say that every day we pray, we work, we play, we eat, and that's, I know that's very simple, but so I'll tell you a little bit about our schedule. So we rise at 5. We meet in the chapel at 5:30 for prayers. Cardinal O'Connor, who founded our community, was really big into praying as a community, praying together. So we pray together. So office of readings, morning prayer, a half-hour meditation. In our convent chapel, we're very blessed to have priests who will come and celebrate Mass in our chapels. We have breakfast together. Then we go into the mission. So whatever apostolate you're in. So if you're serving women who are pregnant in crisis, you'll be meeting with women or on the phone. If you are in the retreat mission, you're maybe writing talks, or you're cleaning the retreat house, getting ready for the next group of retreatants to come in. Then we break at midday for midday prayer, and then lunch, and then an hour of recreation. So that's a personal hour of recreation where you're free to, go and play ultimate frisbee with other sisters, or go for a walk, or run, or take a nap, or do your laundry, or whatever, to whatever apostolate you're in. So time for the mission again. And so again, that really varies, and that can be a very adventurous apostolate, but it can be very simple, and it can be very beautiful. Or maybe you're the cook of the day, and that's what you're doing for that time. And then we break again at 5 for rosary and vespers and holy hour. So most of our prayer is contemplative, so nourished through spiritual reading. And so then we break after prayer for dinner, and usually an hour of community recreation. So we come together as a community to share maybe joys or sorrows, or just, Cardinal O'Connor, again, he really emphasized that we would reflect family life, that we would, in some ways, reparation for the way that the family is not lived out, but maybe be a witness to family life. So after that, we have Compline together, and then we retire for the night. Some of us go back into the mission. Some of us are on a live chat after Compline. So it depends on the mission, but then we start it all over again. We're blessed every week to have a prayer day, so extended hours of adoration. So yeah, that's a little bit.
Awesome. Thank you. Someone's informing me that it's a little broken up, and I don't know. I know it's one of our connections that are not so strong here. So we'll do our best.
All right.
Anything else specific that you would like to say to like a discerner? Clearly they can come and sees with all of you. I know hopefully we can attempt to do a nun run out your way. We're trying to work that out.
Yeah.
So yeah, is there any other advice advice that you would like to ask or say to discerners out there who are their vocationists?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think just a word of encouragement. The Lord is so pleased that you've opened your heart to the possibility of what He has in store for you, the possibility of giving your heart to Him in exclusive relationship. So first, I think that's the most important thing to say, that the Lord is pleased. Whether you're called to religious life or not, the Lord is pleased. Second, I would say, again, this reiterating what I said in the beginning, that religious life, there's an invitation. It's a personal invitation from Jesus. And how do we hear this invitation? Well, I would encourage young women to carve out time of prayer. And even if your schedule is so busy, even if it means it's in the morning of silent prayer, and I would encourage you for sure, if you're able to get to daily mass or pray a rosary or do the liturgy of the hours, beautiful, beautiful, praise God. But I would say, in addition, if you're able to carve out 10 minutes of prayer where you are sitting with the Lord with something from Scripture, the Psalms, the Gospel of the day, where you're actually inviting the Lord to come in and speak. Speak, Lord, your servant is listening. I would say that's one of the most important things in discerning religious life, where we can cultivate this place of attentiveness to the Spirit, so we can hear Him not just in that 10 minutes in the morning, but throughout the day. This cultivates in our hearts an attentive spirit. I would also say in prayer, ask the Lord, deepest desires of my heart. Show me the deepest desires of my heart, because the Lord has placed desires in your heart for a reason, to bring them to fulfillment, and that is really a beautiful prayer. And sometimes, I like to say that the soul is like an ocean. This analogy falls short, right? But there's so many desires on the sailboats and the wind and the sun reflecting, but as you come down to the very depths of the ocean, there's new life, there's new things happening, but there's a stillness, there's a peace. And so I would say, what is the deepest desire there? Ask the Lord, show me, reveal these desires to me. And then, courage to respond to whatever the vocation is. A little bit. But.
Awesome. Yeah, I just think of that peace. We are searching for so many things, and sometimes we don't know when to act and when to wait and pray longer. But that experience, like you were saying, of that, the heart that flows from true prayer and peace, when you're starting to find that deep peace, that's really beautiful. You seem so joyful and where you're supposed to be. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I know a lot of women want that. So, well, that is wonderful. I don't know if I missed anything in something you might want to say about your community, or even visiting your community, or how else would they contact you? Clearly by internet, sistersoflife.org, right?
Yeah. So if you go to our website, to get some more information, to read some more vocation stories, to read some of the meditations, to just learn a little bit more about the charism. I shared just a little snippet, but please feel free to visit our website, www.sistersoflife.org, for women who are interested in learning more about the charism of life and who are looking to maybe discern with our community. I would encourage you to fill out the inquiry form on our website. So it's under the tab Vocations, and just to have a dialogue or see what the Lord is stirring up in your heart. So, and then again, I would also encourage, if you're able to, if you're having a serious prayer life, to see about finding a spiritual director. So.
That's great. Yeah, spiritual director is very helpful in this journey of serious discernment, right? So it's great, to just put your feelers out there. And sometimes when we're in a place where we're like, I don't know, and we're just not sure if we should make that next step. Sometimes making that next step, like putting in an inquiry or visiting a place, actually helps better of, is this of God? Am I peaceful? Is this where I'm supposed to be? Joyful, and most alive. So for those of you who are watching who maybe haven't made a move to visit a place yet, encourage you to visit and meet the incarnation of these sisters, and just see what their lives are about in person. God will show you.
Amen.
Awesome. Thank you.
Be assured of our prayers for you as well. It is just so encouraging and beautiful just to see the response of Jesus's love in a soul, the response of this love, whether one is called to religious life or not, and discernment, is not one-ended. It's a mutual discernment. So whatever community that you're discerning with, it's always mutual, so be assured of our prayers for you.
Thank you, Sister Grace Dominic. We appreciate you being here with us.
It's a great joy.
All right. God bless.
God bless. Bye.